This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks. And now your Lake TV pregame show powered by Como Connect. Here's William Holtz and Dave Glendenning.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Lake TV's Week 3 coverage of high school football. Tonight we're at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri for the Eldon Mustangs as they play host to the Hallsville Indians. Dave Glendenning, William Holtz will be with you all night, and although it's raining, Dave, it's not going to stop us from bringing you live high school football.
No, it sure won't. And hopefully a lot of people sitting at home that can't make it out tonight will be able to watch this broadcast soon from their cozying home.
Streaming live on Facebook, also on Como Connect, Channel 90, and Charter Spectrum, Channel 197. Of course, this is your pregame show powered by Como Connect. Don't go anywhere, folks, because upcoming on the pregame show, we'll talk about both teams, how they got to this point in the season, and we'll also preview a couple of very special players, one from each team, that and much more on the pregame show powered by Como Connect after this.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Manny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get up to 1 gig internet from Como Connect. Enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. It doesn't get any better.
Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie is a hometown favorite and has been since 1989. With generous portions, favorable pricing, and a familiar staff that treats you like family, going to Chances Are is a no-brainer. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Come in on the weekends for the prime rib and all-you-can-eat shrimp. And on Saturday night, year-round, they feature live music with some of the area's hottest bands. And if you stay out too late on the weekend and need that late breakfast fix the next morning, come enjoy our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet until noon on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. Off Highway 5 in Laurie, come find out what makes us so special and...
If you're here once,
Chances are you'll be back! And we're back here on the pregame show powered by Como Connect. I'm William Holtz, joined by my good man, Dave Glendenning. And Dave, tonight Tri-County Conference play starts right here at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri. And Hallsville comes in 0-2, and they've got to be hungry to get a W.
Yes, for sure. And this is not the place you want to come to get the first victory of the season.
No, the Mustangs been very, very good over the last 5 years, especially here at Victor Field. But first, we talk about Hallsville. They come in under fifth-year head coach Ty Harrison. He's got a above 500 record in his tenure with the Indians. They're 24-22 under Coach Harrison. But with the 0-2 start, like I said, they're very, very hungry. And the conditions tonight almost have you in a spot where you throw out the records, you throw out the game plans because it's anyone's game.
Yeah, but I think it's advantage Eldon Mustangs because they do like to run the ball pretty much predominantly the whole game, so maybe this weather will help them in the running game tonight.
Yeah, and Eldon obviously loves to run the football. They got a couple of guys that having outstanding seasons already. We'll talk about them. But first, let's talk about Hallsville. They also love to run the football, and they've got a running back very, very special, the junior Cooper Crane. Of course, he's tonight's spotlight player of the game for the Hallsville Indian, brought to you by Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria. And I'll tell you what, he is a very talented young man. He comes in, the junior running back. He also plays linebacker. He's the team's leading tackler so far. And on offense, 32 carries, 153 yards, averaging 4.8 yards a carry, which is very impressive. Of course, only one touchdown as Hallsville hasn't scored a ton this year because they found themselves behind in both ball games. But Cooper Crane's going to have a big ball game tonight for the Indians if they're going to want to come in here and knock off the Mustangs.
Yes, absolutely. They're going to need some sort of playmaker to take over tonight and challenge this Mustang defense tonight.
Another guy I want to key in on is Zane Purnell, the quarterback. He's out to a sluggish start to start the year, only completing about 30% of his passes so far. And he's had some opportunities the last week with the Indians falling behind. They've had to throw the football more than they like to throw it, and it's been all Cooper Crane, not just out of the backfield, but also catching the football. And one guy I want to talk about tonight, B.J. Williams. Now, he's only got one catch on the year, but he's been targeted 10 times so far for the Indians, and he's a guy number 7 for the Indians. He's going to have to play big, and we may not see a lot of passing, but if we see some short screens and some quick bubble passes out to the outside, I think B.J. Williams is a guy we want to keep an eye on. This is your pregame show powered by Como Connect. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll spotlight the Eldon Mustangs, how they got to the 2-0 start to the 2018 season. We'll also key in on one player. You guys are very familiar with them from last year. That and much more on the pregame show powered by Como Connect.
We are individualists. We are determined to grow, build, and cultivate the life of our dreams. We like our way of living. Who are we? Number 1 in subcompact tractors, number 1 in compact excavators, and number 1 in diesel engines. We are Kubota.
It's quick, it's easy, it's professional. Every time. There's no feeling in the world like a clean car. Quick Car's Unlimited Wash Club features unlimited washes for $22 a month. Plus, with every full-service oil change at Quick Car Lube and Tune, you'll get an interior clean for only $7. The Quick Car Unlimited Wash Club. Quick, easy, and professional. Every time. Now with expanded hours in Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
If you can dream it, we can build it. Ozark Homes. Family owned and operated for more than 30 years, Ozark Homes has provided beautiful modular homes to the residents of mid-Missouri. Don't just settle for what's out there. Get exactly what you want. We take your ideas with the features you've always wanted to create your dream home. Call us today for a tour of these great-looking homes. Visit us online at ozarkhomes.com to view some of the beautiful homes we've already got waiting for you.
And remember, if you can dream it, we can build it.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Carolla Picks.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Nanny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get up to 1 gig internet from Como Connect. Enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. It doesn't get any better.
Welcome back to the pregame show powered by Como Connect right here on Lake TV. Dave Glendenning, William Holtz here at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri, where the 2-0 Mustangs set to square off against the 0-2 Hallsville Indians. Now, Dave, you look at Eldon, and over the past few years, a lot of success under the direction of head coach Shannon Jolly. Well, he's now moved on to another gig, steps in head coach Chad Holt, and in his first year, in his first head coaching experience, Mustangs off to a very good start.
Yeah, and hopefully he can just keep that momentum that Coach Jolly had going for the program and just keep on riding that wave that they've got going. And they've still got some very, very talented players from the Jolly regime still going tonight, and they're probably going to be big factors for sure in this game.
Yeah, you think about the Eldon Mustangs under Shannon Jolly, you think about they run the football well. Very, very tough in the trenches on both the defense and offensive side of the ball. And you talk about a kid from last year, Isaiah Parsons, huge year, all-state year. He's back. He'll be in the backfield again. But the person that stole the show running the football, who also returns, All-State quarterback Dawson Brandt, and he's tonight's spotlight player of the game for the Eldon Mustangs. And he's had a good year throwing the football so far, but running the football, it's been outstanding. Already 315 yards through 2 games. He's averaging almost 10 yards a tote, and he's got 4 touchdowns. And another exciting thing about the young man, first game of the season, he became the Eldon Mustangs all-time leading tackler. And you look at a storied franchise or program such as the Eldon Mustangs, they've had a lot of good tacklers over the years. Well, Dawson Brandt kind of set himself in a spot that no other Mustang's ever been.
Yes, watching him last year play, he definitely stood out amongst all the players for Eldon.
Another year under his belt. This Mustang team poised to make a run deep into November, and we think they've got an opportunity to. And we talk about Dawson Brandt. Last week against Buffalo, the young man did it all. As a matter of fact, he had 2 interceptions. He had a forced fumble. He also blocked a punt. It was against Owensville. But you look at a guy that's doing all these things on the offensive end, and then he also does it in defense and special teams. You got a special young man, and we expect him to have a big ball game because the Mustangs probably not going to be throwing the football a ton in these conditions.
No, and even if it was ideal conditions, they wouldn't be throwing a ton. So this is, like I said, I think the conditions are kind of falling into the Eldon Mustangs' hands tonight. It's to their advantage for sure.
Well, they love to pound the rock, but so does Hallsville. I expect Cooper Crane to have a pretty good game. And the thing about these conditions is it's really anyone's game because it's going to be whoever turns the football over, which there's going to be turnovers in these conditions, and field position going to be bigger than it's ever been because if you could work with a short field and these conditions and just try to continually put points on the board, whether it's a field goal, even though it's going to be tough to convert on a field goal, and those touchdowns once you get down close to the goal line. Talk about the Eldon Mustangs and you look at the success they've had, made it all the way to the state semifinals a year ago against Fairgrove, and it was a big-time year. Just didn't have enough to get to that next level for the Mustangs, but they return a lot of their guys, and off to a good start. They sit by themselves atop the Tri-County Conference standings at 2-0, and we anticipated next week for our game of the week that we might have Eldon and Southern Boone both coming in 3-0. Well, not so fast. Because of these conditions, the Southern Boone Versailles game actually got bumped up. They played it last night, and don't be surprised when you hear this, but the Versailles Tigers actually won 30-22, and it was a big-time game for both Versailles Tigers and for everybody else in the district and the conference because Southern Boone was supposed to beat Versailles, and it's because of one Kobe Williams. He had a heck of a ball game. He threw 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 2 touchdowns, and he's averaging about 150 yards a game so far this season on the ground. And the Versailles Tigers 2-1, and they're turning some heads in the Tri-County Conference.
That's good to hear. It's really good to hear because they had a little bit of a down year last year, and it's always great to have a good Versailles team in the conference.
So you've got all kinds of conference action going on tonight. We'll try to keep you updated on those scores. That and much more on the pregame show powered by Como Connect when we return after this.
We are individualists. We are determined to grow, build, and cultivate the life of our dreams. We like our way of living. Who are we? Number 1 in subcompact tractors, number 1 in compact excavators, and number 1 in diesel engines. We are Kubota.
It's quick. It's easy. It's professional. Every time. There's no feeling in the world like a clean car. Quick Car's Unlimited Wash Club features unlimited washes for $22 a month. Plus, with every full-service oil change at Quick Car Lube and Tune, you'll get an interior clean for only $7. The Quick Car Unlimited Wash Club. Quick, easy, and professional. Every time. Now with expanded hours in Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
If you can dream it, we can build it. Ozark Homes. Family owned and operated for more than 30 years, Ozark Homes has provided beautiful modular homes to the residents of Mid-Missouri. Don't just settle for what's out there. Get exactly what you want. We take your ideas with the features you've always wanted to create your dream home. Call us today for a tour of these great-looking homes. Visit us online at ozarkhomes.com to view some of the beautiful homes we've already got waiting for you.
And remember, if you can dream it, we can build it.
And we're back. As you see, the Eldon Mustangs standing atop the Tri-County Conference standings all alone. They take the field here to a, well, I wouldn't say dismal, but not a capacity crowd by any stretch of the imagination. In tonight's conditions, we anticipate having a very large viewing audience. For those of you tuning in on Facebook, thanks for watching tonight's game on Lake TV, brought to you by Como Connect, tonight's pregame show sponsor, the pregame show powered by Como Connect. And although the weather conditions aren't great, I'm sure our Como service is still top-notch even in these conditions.
Of course they are.
So we're excited. Going to be a good night for football, Dave. And you look around the conference, you have Osage at California tonight, and that should be a good one because Osage 1-1 and California 0-2. But we really liked what we saw from them in the second half last week.
It's not easy going into California coming out with a W.
Yeah,
I don't care what team they're putting out, they're trying their hardest. California just really is a great great team. They always put out the best effort. They really do. And the
a-
community is fantastic.
You got to love the football school, California, when you look at the town as a whole, man. They really love their Pintos, and regardless of the records, the town basically shuts down on Friday nights, and that's true for these Eldon Mustangs, and they went through many, many seasons without making the district playoffs. As a matter of fact, they went nearly 60 years, I believe it was, without winning a district title before winning back-to-back district titles under Coach Jolly a few years ago. So Mustang fans now at Victor Field, they're used to seeing winning football. Coach Jolly got that tradition turned around in a big way, and we anticipate that Coach Chad Holt, he was on the staff for Coach Jolly for many years. As a matter of fact, he actually was a coordinator for Hallsville under Coach Devin Johnson for 2 years before Coach Johnson took the Osage job. Coach Holt came work for Shannon Jolly, and now still in the same conference. And we talk about our 4 cover schools, Eldon, Versailles, Osage, and California. All schools are going to be tough this year. They're all going to put up a good fight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens down the stretch.
Yeah, and it seems like lately there's been like revolving doors at programs, especially, in the mid-Missouri area. Some of the better coaches keep moving up to better jobs, and I'm assuming that's what Jolly thought he was doing. But this is a great program here in Eldon.
Eldon fans love one coach, Shannon Jolly, but if he were to say he thought he got a better job, many people here at Victor Field and around the community would say there's not a better job. And, hey, who's to argue with these people, because they're here in these conditions, so they definitely are showing they love their Mustangs. Dave, we look at tonight's game, and, of course, the way Eldon likes to come out and pound the rock, and Hallsville, they like to spread it out. But I think tonight Hallsville, because of these conditions, is going to have to try to play more similar to Eldon style.
Yeah, they have to. There's no question about it. The ball's going to be slippery. The receiver's going to have a hard time hanging on to the ball. We're going to have a wild one, It's going to be a wild one. It's going to be like a big slip and slide turf, I think, going on out there tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, these conditions don't stop us from bringing you live high school football right here on Lake TV. We may have a treat for you guys tonight during the third quarter. Former All-State Eldon Mustangs, who's graduated, now in college, trying to get his degree for education, wants to be a high school football coach. That's one Trenton Dillon, and boy, I'll tell you what, we loved watching that young man play the last few seasons.
Yes, that was incredible. And, yeah, hopefully good things are to come for him, too.
And not only that, but we are just minutes away from tonight's kickoff here on Lake TV. William Holtz, Dave Glendenning will be back to wrap up tonight's pregame show powered by Como Connect after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.
And we are back here on Lake TV. That concludes tonight's pregame show powered by Como Connect. It looks like the Mustangs will be receiving the opening kickoff here. And I'll tell you what, although the rain is coming down in full effect, it doesn't look like we're going to have any lightning, so we should get in a full game of football for you guys tonight. And now I'm being corrected, I guess. It's going to be Hallsville receiving the opening half kickoff. Ross Reinhardt says yes. Dawson Brandt, of course, going to do the kicking duties, and set to return. We have got B.J. Fisher and Mason Husky, and Husky's another guy to keep an eye on, not just in the receiving game, but he's averaging almost 13 totes a game so far, Dave, and he's going to be very, very active, and another guy that if Hallsville wants to stay with this powerful Mustang team, they're going to have to get him involved early. So B.J. Fisher stands at about his 15-yard line. Dawson Brandt set to kick off tonight for the Mustangs. And, folks, it is Hallsville at Eldon. And we are set here on Lake TV. Thanks for tuning in. Those of you choosing to stay dry, whether you're watching from in the car like Michelle, Dakota, and Mariah Wilms, or if you're watching from the comfort of your living room like one Stacy Jones, we certainly appreciate you tuning in for tonight's Game of the Week. And, Dave, although it is definitely pouring, there's quite a few people here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what do you expect? These people come out and support their team always.
And, folks, do bear with us tonight due to the conditions. We don't plan on having any technical difficulties, but it is somewhat likely we could run into them. So do bear with us as we bring you live high school football on Lake TV. Brandt now kicks it away. That is a great kick, goes into the end zone. Boy, had that stopped rolling inside the 5, Dave, that could have been a very dangerous situation for Hallsville.
Yeah, not a great start for the Indians.
So Zane Purnell comes into the game for Hallsville. He's going to take the reps at quarterback for the Indians. And then in the backfield, you're going to see a lot of Cooper Crane and also Mason Husky tonight. Purnell now the snap, miscommunication. That's a breakdown, and he's buried in the backfield there.
Wow, somebody made a big mistake on that play.
Jacob Krantz in there with the quarterback sack for the Mustangs, and just like that, already a sack for the Mustang defense. That's a loss of 4. Going to bring up 2nd down and 14 now for the Indians. Purnell now, and I think someone started early. Cooper Crane, who took the snap. He was a little antsy on that one, and he got himself an early start. It's going to back him up another 5. So not a good start here for Hallsville.
2nd 19, not at all.
In these weather conditions, you'd want to keep the sticks between as short as possible, and they've got 19 yards standing between them and a 1st down. And I can see the Eldon linemen, they're salivating. The handoff to Crane, he makes the first guy miss, rolls forward. He's going to be taken down after a modest gain of 2. That's going to set up a 3rd and long for Hallsville.
Yeah, you can tell the field conditions are already affecting the play.
So 3rd down and 17 now. Parnell takes the snap. He's going to look to his right side, stands in, into the flat, looking for Husky, falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up a punt situation. And on the coverage, Brady Hill for the Mustangs, the sophomore, out in coverage, and that's going to bring a 4th down and long.
So not much going, partner, on that first possession.
No, very dismal. Logan Hall now back to return the punt for the Mustangs, and set to punt Eric Reed for Hallsville. Reed gets it away. It's a short kick, comes off the side of his foot, bounces at about the 31, and it's going to die at the 36. The Mustangs, excellent starting field position here on their first possession.
Yep, pretty much ideal starting position for the Mustangs.
You know, I like out here to the booth to our left, Dave, you've got the canopy set up. Mustang fans got out early to try to build themselves some protection from the conditions. Pretty innovative.
I call that using your thinker, Will.
Something I should probably do a little more frequently.
No comment.
So Eldon now on their first series. Dawson Brandt lines up under center. He's going to keep it in the backfield. He is taken for a loss. Michael Husky in there. That's a big play for Hallsville on their first defensive play. That's going to go for a loss of 5 and bring up 2nd down and 15.
I have a feeling we're going to be calling his name a lot tonight.
Yeah, Husky, an all-around ball player. Mason Husky, rather. He's a baller. He hasn't gotten going in the passing game, but look out for him down the stretch in conference play because he's a big target, and Parnell loves to look his way. So 2nd down and 15 now. And Hallsville going to jump Brandt with that hard count. We're used to seeing that all season long last year. Works to perfection right there, and he's going to gain those 5 yards back he just lost. How about the Lake TV crew, though, fighting the conditions, bringing you live high school football on Lake TV. Of course, we allowed Brendan Thompson to be in the booth with us instead of on top because he said he could not handle the conditions. That was a delayed laugh. Thanks, guys. 2nd and 19 now. There's a muff play. Ball's on the turf. Still down. Hallsville comes up with it. And, yeah, they got the football. Recovering it is Cooper Crane, our spotlight player of the game, brought to you by Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria. And we thought we might see a few footballs hit the turf tonight, and that one was early. Hallsville gets the first takeaway of the game, and they're going to start 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Well, there's one already out of the way.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, it really feels like football season's here officially. NFL kicked off last week. College football entering their 2nd week, and, of course, our 3rd week of high school football. That's the trifecta. It is football season, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Parnell, the handoff. The ball's on the turf again, and Crane recovers this one in the backfield. That's going to go for a couple-yard loss. And, boy, if the early going's any indication of how the conditions are, we could see a lot of turnovers tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to keep that pigskin dry tonight.
Hope you can swim, partner, because our booth is starting to get drenched in rain.
Well, on my drive here, it was a little sketchy to say the least.
Well, you made it, and I'm glad you did. Tie and all. 2nd down and 12 now. Parnell the snap, gives it to Crane. This time he holds on to it. He's got some room to the outside. He's got a good gain across midfield. He slides forward into Eldon territory. They're going to mark him out at the 49-yard line. That's good for 19 yards and a big Hallsville first down, their first of the game.
Yeah, and you could tell there Cooper Crane just couldn't get his footing to cut back up the field.
But an encouraging play from the Hallsville offense now as they take it into Eldon territory. And we thought Crane might have an opportunity to break off some big runs, and that one to the tune of 19 yards in Hallsville into Eldon territory now. Parnell out of the gun. He takes the snap. He gives it to Crane. Nice cutback, but he runs into a wall right there. He's going to be stopped at the initial line of scrimmage in there, Logan Hall, the first Mustang there. That brings up 2nd down and 10 as we approach the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. Parnell out of the gun. Misdirection play. Here comes Husky. He's got some room. There's a flag. Looks like it could be a block and a back. Now a positive run, but it looked like it's going to come back as we saw some laundry at midfield, and this one probably going to go against Hallsville.
Yeah, it looks like they called a holding call.
One way to kill a drive, penalty or a turnover. And just as you got into Eldon territory, you have a bone-breaking penalty. I'm telling you what, that was a big gainer. That was about 13 yards. Husky took the misdirection play, had Hallsville all the way down to about the 35, but it's going to be negated by the hold, and Eldon's got to like that.
Yeah, about a 25-yard penalty.
Yeah, when it's all said and done with, that definitely changes field position. Parnell out of the shotgun. Crane in the backfield with him. Crane going to get the give. He's outside, cuts back across, spins forward and taken down after a modest gain of 1. He's going to bring up 3rd down and long now. You see about the 35-yard line, see it start to puddle up a little bit, and 30-yard on the other side. These conditions could get very, very messy as we get closer to 3rd and 4th quarter.
And we were discussing just the other day that Eldon does have a natural grass field compared to most of the others in the conference.
Indeed. So 3rd and 18 now. Once again, it's Husky, and he is going to be hit hard. Ball's on the ground. Brandt with the tackle for a loss and forced fumble. It's going to be recovered by the Mustangs. Well, Husky has the football, but for some reason they're awarding it to the Mustangs, and Coach Ty Harrison in the referee's ear, and I'm not sure why they awarded it to Eldon, but Brant, another big play, his second forced fumble of the season. And an official timeout, so we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with the Eldon Mustangs live on Lake TV after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Pics.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Manny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get up to 1 gig internet from Como Connect. Enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. It doesn't get any better.
And radio guys, you should be good next door. Welcome back, folks, to Lake TV's Game of the Week. Here at Victor Field, and the Mustangs, fresh off a fumble recovery, have it 1st and 10 at the Hallsville 40-yard line. Brant, that one's on the turf. He very wisely gains it. Now it's back on the turf again. Still on. Parsons grabs it, rumbles forward for about 7. And that one very nearly disastrous for the Mustangs, but ends up being a positive gain. Going to bring up about 2nd and 3 or 4.
Wow, kind of look like we're playing a game of hot potato out there.
Yeah, and we've already seen the ball on the turf. I guess I should say the grass. 4 times here through the early going. And I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon as the rain continues to come back down in epic proportion.
Yes.
So Brant on the turf again. He's able to recover. Loses 1 maybe. But boy, there's going to be some exchange problems going on all game long if this continues. Messy start.
Something I notice, usually in this type of weather, the quarterback would have some sort of towel or something that they could wipe their hands off with. That they could rotate out on the sideline, maybe help them, get a handle on that ball a little easier. Just a thought.
Hopefully the coaches are watching on their face on their Facebook.
I guarantee they are on the sideline.
From the sideline. All right, here's the 3rd down and 5 give, and that is bottled up right at the line of scrimmage for Hallsville. First man there, Jarrett Ballard, the senior linebacker. He's had himself a good start to the year. He's had 2 sacks already and 4 tackles for a loss on the season. That was a big stop and going to bring up 4th down and 4. And in these conditions, you bet Eldon is going.
No doubt about it.
Brant under center, Parsons in the backfield with him. And Eldon trying the hard count to see if they couldn't get Hallsville to bite, to no avail. So timeout called by the Mustangs, and that's going to lead us into a commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this.
Chances Are Restaurant and Lounge in Laurie is a hometown favorite and has been since 1989. With generous portions, favorable pricing, and a familiar staff that treats you like family, going to Chances Are is a no-brainer. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Come in on the weekends for the prime rib and all-you-can-eat shrimp. And on Saturday night, year-round, they feature live music with some of the area's hottest bands. And if you stay out too late on the weekend and need that late breakfast fix the next morning, come enjoy our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet until noon on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. Off Highway 5 in Laurie, come find out what makes us so special and...
If you're here once,
Chances are you'll be back! And we're back, folks. You get a look at the conditions there yourself as it is really coming down. And Eldon now facing a 4th down and 4. 4:50 left in the opening period. Ball at the 34-yard line of Hallsville. Brant under center. Takes the snap. Going to give it to Parsons. He rumbles forward, and he's going to be very close. I think Hallsville stopped him shy. And it looks like they did, so the Indians a big stop. They're going to take back over. 1st down and 10 at their own 31-yard line. And, Dave, so far Hallsville looking very tough.
Yeah, they're holding in there with the Mustangs.
Like we said, too, I mean, these conditions, it really forces teams to play out of their element. And you can see early the exchange from Dawson Branton as center has not been smooth, and it's not allowed Eldon to get any kind of chemistry going on offense. So first down and 10 now, Hallsville, their third series. Both series so far have ended with them giving it back to the Mustangs. Cooper Crane, the carry, he's going to rumble forward. He has maybe 1 yard, and then a late flag comes in. You watched that game last night, Dave. There was laundry all over the field all night.
Yeah. They made it rain flags last night, that's for sure.
No pun intended, as the rain smacking us in the face.
Wait.
It's going to be a face mask against the Mustangs, so they're going to say 5-yard penalty from the spot, first down. Here, no, they're going to say second down and 4 now after the penalty. So 5-yard penalty, no automatic first down. Parnell out of the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it to Crane. He puts his foot in the grass, gets about 2, and guess what? Another flag.
Let's say hold on, Hallsville. Oh, personal foul. Chop block on the offense. Well, that's going to ruin their good field position there. Second and short to second and 15 almost.
Yeah, it's going to back them up now. Even further, it looks like.
Wow.
So it's going to back them up 15 from the spot. That's going to bring up second down and 19. And, boy, every time Hallsville does something right, they negate it with something wrong on the very next play. Parnell out of the gun. Tries to dry those hands. Now he gives the carry to Crane, who tries to get outside. An outstanding play from Parsons as he's able to trip him up and stop him for a very, very modest gain. We're going to give him 2. Going to bring up third down and 17 now. We're used to seeing sure tackling from the Eldon Mustangs.
Yeah, and they're always good on the defensive line.
So Hallsville now gets their play in. They're running out of time. The play clock down to 2, and Parnell gonna have to burn a timeout. So we're gonna stay right here. And Dave, we thought that the conditions might lead to some balls on the ground, and we've seen a handful already. And I don't think the rain's supposed to slow up.
From what I'm looking at right here, it looks pretty steady. So regardless, it's going to be wet and sloppy the rest of the night.
Of course, next week we'll have the Eldon Mustangs at Southern Boone as we make the trip to Ashland. It's going to be a good game. Eldon, if they win tonight, of course, still lots of football to be played, but they'd have sole possession of first place in the Tri-County Conference. And then you kind of got a jumbled mess after first place, as you'll have Versailles at 2-1. Then Osage, they're at 1-1 playing California. And if California wins, both teams go to 1-2. So anything can happen. We'll try to keep you guys updated on that game throughout the night. And I'm sure it's raining just about everywhere here in mid-Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Parnell out of the gun. The give is to Crane. He tries to find some room. Now he does. He's across the 40. Nice little stutter step, and he's up close to first down yardage. He's all the way up to the 43. He's got 17. We'll give him 18, and that's enough for a first down. And what a conversion on 3rd and 17, Dave.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, if it wasn't for, oh gosh, can't see the guy's numbers on here. But that was a kind of a touchdown saving tackle for Eldon on that last play.
Yeah, Crane, he's racking up the yardage here. That good for 18. He's had himself a nice first quarter. Parnell now takes the snap. Crane once again finds the initial hole, but then Eldon there as he drags a couple of defenders He has about 4 yards, going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
It looks like Crane is getting a little bit of a rhythm here.
Yeah, Crane, tough ball carrier. Of course, Xander Strickland with the stop for the Mustangs once again. Going to bring up 2nd down and 6. 2:35 left in the first quarter. Thanks for watching high school football on Lake TV. For those of you just joining us, Parnell takes the snap. The give to Crane, and he's going to be taken down from behind. First guy there, Parsons, tripped him up. Logan Hall in there, and then, of course, once again, Strickland in there, the junior linebacker, Xander Strickland. He stands in about 6 foot, 175. He's made the last 3 plays for the Mustangs, and that's going to bring it 3rd down and 8 now for Hallsville.
Looks like Hallsville's going 3 wide here on this 3rd down play.
Nice play by quarterback Zane Purnell, but swallowed in the backfield. Cooper Crane for a loss of 5 yards. Big time play for the Mustangs. Not sure who was there first. Looks like Caleb Wood, the senior, in there with the stop. Going to bring up 4th down and 11 in Hallsville. Looks like they'll punt. Logan Hall back to return for the Mustangs. He stands at his 28-yard line. Eric Reed takes the snap, gets the punt away. It's high. Bounces off of a Hallsville Indian at the 38, so that's where Eldon gets it. 1st and 10 of the 38-yard line. 55.7 seconds left here in the opening period.
Pretty much going as expected, kind of a plodding game so far. Not too much going through the air, as you would expect. Eldon with 1 wide receiver out.
Grant under center. He's going to keep it. He rolls outside. Now he's trying to get outside, and he makes a couple of guys miss before being taken down by number 7 on the play, B.J. Fisher. With the stop, he limits Brandt to just a couple yards on the run, and Brandt did a nice job to elude the first couple Indians, but unable to shake Williams. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, that's one of the harder 2-yard runs you'll see by a player.
Yeah, you can see the players definitely struggling to get their footing out there, and they really look like they're running in concrete.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on 2nd and 8, Brandt now. Play action. He's got a guy wide open. The throw, he's got him, and very nearly hauled in. It was Trenton Phillips who had it, and while falling to the ground, really, if Phillips would have kept running, it would have hit him in stride, but he tried to adjust the football and left his feet and just couldn't haul it in. But nice job by Brandt. He sold the play action and probably should have had a touchdown, but to no avail. Going to bring up 3rd down and 8. And those are the opportunities in this kind of weather you can't let slip by.
No pun intended.
Or pun intended. 3rd down and 8 now. Last play of the first quarter coming. Brandt. The give. That's going to be Logan Hall. He's across the field, across the 40, all the way down to the 35-yard line. He's got 26 yards and a Mustang 1st down.
Great effort run there.
Yeah, nice change of pace, misdirection, give it to Hall, and he takes it, like I said, 26 yards and has a big-time Eldon gain. That's going to conclude the first quarter of play after 1 on Lake TV. It's all tied, 0-0. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV. We'll be right back after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, And the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Carolla Picks.
We are individualists. We are determined to grow, build, and cultivate the life of our dreams. We like our way of living. Who are we? Number 1 in subcompact tractors, number 1 in compact excavators, and number 1 in diesel engines. We are Kubota.
And we're back here on Lake TV to start our second quarter of play between Hallsville and Eldon. The Mustangs 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Brandt play action, keeps it nice blocking, tries to get outside, he fumbles it as he heads out about the 31. We're going to give him 4 yards, going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, luckily hit for him on that play. He fumbled it right out of bounds.
Cooper Crane with the stop for Hallsville, doing it on both sides of the football. Camdenton, they're up over West Plains 7-0 in the early going. Camdenton first in their district right now, 2-0, and they could knock off the Zizzers in West Plains. That would be a big-time win for Coach Shore's program. Here's the give to Parsons. Makes the first guy miss, but then taken down. Actually, Logan Hall with the carry. First guy there for Hallsville, number 53 with the stop, Sean Worthington. He's the senior linebacker. He's had a good start to his season, and he's in on that stop. So 3rd down and 5 now.
And again, this is 4-down territory for Eldon.
Yeah, certainly. The wind howling in the face of the Mustangs here. 3rd down and 5. Brandt takes the snap's going to give it to Parsons, and he's going to be stopped at the line. And on the stop, once again, that's Nelson Pipes this time, the junior. That's going to bring a 4th down and 5 now. And interesting to see, of course, the Mustangs probably going to go for it, but Hallsville, they're showing they're tough here at the line of scrimmage so far. Brandt under center, ball's on the ground, he falls on it. Doesn't matter who recovers, they're not going to gain the 1st down, and once again, Eldon stopped. Hallsville back out on offense, and partner, that missed conversion on the hookup from Brandt as he was looking for Trenton Phillips. It's going to prove costly now. Hallsville able to hold, and they're going to get it right back.
And again, another prime example of the conditions that we're playing in tonight. Just super, super sloppy. So you never know. Could be the first one to score, because both these teams have had a hard time even getting really close to the end zone, even in the red zone.
Yeah, we'll see a couple of guys miss some tackles here and see some things out in the open. Hopefully we'll see some scoring, but you may be right. We may have a very limited scoring here. Nice takedown from behind. In there, that's number 78 with the stop for the Mustangs, Sam Kopic. Nice stop. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. Mason Husky gets the carry and nothing doing for him. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 11 after a loss of 1.
Indians in shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers here on 2nd and 11.
Parnell now takes the snap out of the gun. It's a high one. Tries to hand it to Crane, but they were not on the same page, and he falls on it back at the 25. That's going to be another loss of 4. It's going to be 3rd and 15 now. Reoccurring theme here for Hallsville, 3rd and long.
Mm-hmm.
Wind picks up a bit. 3rd and 15. 9:30 left in the second quarter of play now. Only 5 seconds on the play clock. Parnell sees that, gets the snap off, looking for his guy. He's got him wide open, hits him in stride, and he drops it right through the hands of number 34. And the conditions continue to prove costly as Emmett Carlos, the junior, had a perfect pass delivered by Zane Parnell, but unable to haul it in another punt situation for Hallsville.
I bet Emmett wishes he had that one more try to catch that ball.
So now we're even. Both one play for Hallsville, both one play for Eldon. Should have been a long hookup from quarterback to receiver, and both fall incomplete. And Hallsville set to punt once again. Logan Hall back at his own 45-yard line to return this one. Good snap. Eric Reed gets it off, and a good kick from him here over the head.
Great
Takes a
bounce.
big-time Hallsville bounce all the way down to the 9-yard line. That's going to be a punt of 56 yards on that. Wow. Actually, 66 yards on the punt. It was at the 25, all the way down to the 9-yard line. So a 66-yard punt from Eric Reed for Hallsville, and that changes field position in a big way.
And ironically, it's one of the biggest plays we've seen here in the first half so far.
Yeah, the junior Eric Reed shows off that impressive right foot to the tune of a 66-yard punt. And you're right, that's the most exciting play we've seen tonight. So Brandt now at his own 9-yard line. Takes the snap, gives it to Parsons, and he's going to be stuffed after a gain of 1. Going to bring up 2nd down and 9 now. Second down and 9 now. Sorry, we have some sound interference going on. So on 2nd and 9, a short gainer here for the Mustang as Brandt keeps the carry, has a couple, going to bring up 3rd down and 6, and the wind picks up even more now. A lot of umbrellas across Victor Field here, and a lot of those yellow and gold, or maroon and gold, umbrellas. How about that? Even team umbrellas here in Eldon. They don't mess around. So 3rd down and 6. Brandt, play action, rolls out to his right. Now throws into the flat. It's bobbled and then hauled in for the 1st down. Nice grab by the Mustang player on the far sideline. Don't know who had the catch. And it was Parsons. Go figure. He hasn't been able to get going a ton on the ground, but a big-time conversion. That goes for 12 yards and a Mustang 1st down on 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Parsons had great flag down too.
Yeah, looks like there's a flag on the field, and the Mustang faithful quiet, so this could back the Mustangs up.
Well, I was going to say Parsons had great concentration to keep with that catch, but it may all be for naught.
Yeah, it's going to go against the Stangs here, and still waiting for a call. It's going to be an eligible man downfield for the Mustangs. So a 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. It was 3rd and 6. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11, and it's going to negate a big 1st down conversion for the Mustangs. So 3rd down and 11. Ball at the 14-yard line. Brandt. The give to Logan Hall. He's going to rumble forward, but stopped at about the 14-yard line after a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a Mustang punting situation. And be careful. You saw that 66-yard punt for Eric Reed and the Indians. That's because he had the wind at his back. Now, Brandt's going to be forced to punt not just into this wind, but this rain is howling from left to right. So it's going to be right in the face of Brandt here as he's set to punt. Fisher back to return with Husky, but a nice punt. It does take a Hallsville bounce to the 37, so a net of 24 yards, and Hallsville takes over with outstanding field position. Their best so far tonight. 1st and 10 at the Eldon 37-yard line.
And to back up, they wouldn't have this field position if it wasn't for that punt previously.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, partner. Big-time boot from Eric Reed. proves to be even bigger than we thought before because it sets the Hallsville Indians up with ideal field position. Now we've got a timeout on the field, so we're going to take a commercial break, but don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.
Welcome back, folks, to Lake TV's coverage of high school football. Week 3 has us at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri, where we are scoreless with 6:55 left here in the opening half of play in Hallsville. They find themselves in the driver's seat. Although we're tied, they've got a 1st and 10 at the Eldon 37. Parnell takes the snap. He's going to give it to Cooper Crane, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield. Sam Kopic with the stop, but there was a couple of Mustangs in the backfield that blew that dead before it ever had a chance to get started. So a 4-yard loss brings up 2nd down and 14 now for Hallsville.
Yeah, Coach Holt had a all-out blitz going on that play.
Yeah, and you get the sense, partner, that a play-action pass, if a receiver can hold on to the football, has an opportunity to be very effective. And that's going to be intercepted. Dawson Brandt falls right into his hands, and he's got some blockers. If he can get to the edge, he now drops the ball, falls on top of it, but the Mustangs with another takeaway. Flags fly, laundry all over the field, but the interception will stand as they flew in on the return. So the Mustangs, another takeaway, and Brandt, he had 2 a week ago, his 3rd of the season, and boy, I'll tell you what, don't look now, but he's got to be in the conversation. I know only through 2.5 weeks, but as one of the best players in the state of Missouri through 2.5 weeks.
That's saying a lot, but hey, he could be right up there.
Averaging over 150 yards a game on the ground, averaging 100 yards a game through the air, and he's had 2 forced fumbles and 3 interceptions to go with the block punt, and we're just 10 quarters into the 2018 season.
So it's 6:06 remaining here in the second quarter. Plenty of time for the Eldon Mustangs to mount some sort of offensive drive here and try to get some points on the board before halftime.
6:06 on the clock. You alluded to it. Still plenty of time. Eldon has it. 1st and 10 at their own 26. Brandt under center. It's going to be a play action. He's got his man. That's knocked into the air, and a really, really nice defensive play for Hallsville. It's Andrew Huddleston, the junior, who breaks that up, and Eldon was looking for their tight end, Fisher Snelling, only a sophomore, but he's 6'3", and you saw that length he had streaking up the seam, but really nice play by Hallsville. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Brandt now the give to Parsons. Trying to stay on his feet, taken down by Cooper Crane after a gain of 7. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3 now. And boy, just a constant flow of rain coming.
I have to give props to the Eldon cheerleaders. My goodness.
Yeah, they say no pullovers. You look over at Hallsville, they've got on pants, pullovers, and some of them even have little rain jackets on. Eldon, the skirts, the sleeveless tops, no jackets, no pullovers. They say we're just as tough as the players. 3rd down and 4 now. Brandt gives it forward, Logan Hall, and he's going to be stuffed after no gain. That's going to bring up 4th down and a long 3. They're going to give him 1, but No first down in Hallsville. Boy, they've been tough in the trenches, and it's typically the Mustangs on the defensive and offensive side of the ball that dominate. But with these conditions and the tenacity of Hallsville really, really proving tough. Eldon gonna punt here. Brandt gets one. It's gonna be stop in the mud as it takes a Hallsville bounce at the 41. We do have a flag on the field. It was 4th and 3, so if this goes against Hallsville, it would be a first down, but all signs indicate it's gonna be against the Mustangs. Yeah, an illegal shift against the Mustangs. So if you're Hallsville, you have the option to decline the penalty or accept it. And if they accept it, Eldon's probably going to have to repunt. And that's what they're going to do, it looks like. They're going to force the Mustangs to repunt the football and hope that they don't gain some yardage and field position. That's going to bring a 4th down and 8 in Hallsville. They should be set with excellent field position here.
Yeah, if they can get a run back, that would help a lot. And really, these conditions are kind of prime for big run backs.
So Brandt now set to punt from his own 15-yard line. Good snap, he gets it away, and a great punt.
Ooh, even better.
Absolutely great punt. And that one's going to backfire for Hallsville as that goes to the 26-yard line. That's a 48-yard punt for Dawson Brandt in these conditions. And Hallsville has it 1st and 10 at the 26.
Now again, see if Hallsville can do anything with the ball here with 4:10 remaining left in the second quarter.
Of course, Hallsville received the opening kick, so Eldon starts the second half with the football. But first, Hallsville 1st and 10 from the 25. Parnell the give to Crane. He stops, tries to cut upfield. The Mustangs, a slew of defenders there, say no siree. First man there, Isaiah Parsons. Limiting Crane to a gain of 1. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Eldon's loading up the box full of defenders. They're leaving the receivers for Hallsville on single coverage on the outside. No safety help at all back on that last play.
Yeah, Parnell, of course, probably notices, but I bet he didn't forget about the interception he threw on the last series. See if he can forget about that and air one out.
And now he's got a little help here, safety help, so.
Going to have to burn a timeout is Parnell, so the second of the half for Hallsville. We're going to take a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back right here on Lake TV after this.
It's quick. It's easy. It's professional. Every time. There's no feeling in the world like a clean car. Quick Car's Unlimited Wash Club features unlimited washes for $22 a month. Plus, with every full-service oil change at Quick Car Lube and Tune, you'll get an interior clean for only $7. The Quick Car Unlimited Wash Club. Quick, easy, and professional. Every time. Now with expanded hours in Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
If you can dream it, we can build it. Ozark Homes. Family owned and operated for more than 30 years, Ozark Homes has provided beautiful modular homes to the residents of mid-Missouri. Don't just settle for what's out there. Get exactly what you want. We take your ideas with the features you've always wanted to create your dream home. Call us today for a tour of these great-looking homes. Visit us online at ozarkhomes.com to view some of the beautiful homes we've already got waiting for you.
And remember, if you can dream it, we can build it.
Welcome back, folks. Hallsville now 2nd and 9. Parnell out of the gun. The give to Crane. He spins forward. The ball's on the turf. And it is going to be recovered by the Mustangs. That's number 79, Jacob Krantz, the senior in there. And first down, Mustangs at the 30-yard line, their third takeaway of the first half. Jacob Krantz, Johnny on the spot, recovers the fumble. The Mustangs, they've got it first and 10 in Indian territory at the 29-yard line and 3 minutes and 21 seconds to work with.
So I'm checking with our stat crew. Do we have any stat updates? Gentlemen.
First down and 10 now. Brant under center. Play action. This time Brant going to keep it. We have a flag. Good lead blocking. He stumbles down inside the 20, down to the 18. That's going to go for about 9 yards.
Probably be coming back as every good play pretty much has all night tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be holding against Eldon. That's going to back him up now. And with bad grip, it's going to be even harder to get away with holds in these conditions. Still excited for Coach Brock Silvers and his Versailles Tigers. That's a big-time win for that program. They're above 500 at 2-1. And, they really control their destiny for the 2 seed in that district down the stretch. And if they could string off a couple more wins, maybe against Eldon, against California, you never know. I mean, Versailles, a lot of playmakers. Wyatt Espinosa, the senior wideout, touchdown in all 3 games so far to start. He's Kobe Williams' favorite target, and he's been really tough thus far. Brant now they give to Parsons. He's running hard. He's up to the 35-yard line. We're going to give him 4. Going to bring up second down and 15.
And again, time's not necessarily on Eldon's side right now with about 2:40 to go.
It's a lot harder to move the football quick in these conditions, so 2.5 minutes is probably closer to a minute of real game time with better conditions. Brant now, play action. He's got guys streaking all over. Throws, that is bobbled, and everybody hit the turf. Logan Hall tried to come back for it.
The back judge even took a spill.
Yeah, he lost his footing, trying to readjust to that one, and another incompletion, but that one had potential. Brant did a nice job of letting his players streak because there was only 2 guys back in the secondary for Hallsville, but you had 4 Eldon Mustangs streaking wide open. It was just, who did Brant want to throw the football to? Unfortunately for him, underthrew it just a bit to Logan Hall, and that's going to bring up third down and 15. Toss outside. Logan Hall once again, he stumbles forward inside the 30 up to the 28-yard line. He's got 7. And that's going to bring up about 4th down and 8. And with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left, I wonder if the Stangs go for it here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't gain a ton by punting it because if you're unable to keep it out of the end zone, you only gain 8 yards of field position. So if I'm Coach Chad Holt, I take my chances and I go for it, and it looks like he will. Brant under center, 4th down and 8. Minute 45 left in the opening period. Brant takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He looks, throws across, and he was looking for his man, and he is absolutely waylaid. You're going to have a hit against the defenseless receiver. The intended target here, Fisher Snelling, the tight end. And there was a secondary member that came in, lowered his head, and just nailed the head area of the Eldon player, and that's what they're trying to eliminate.
Well, also, there was a hold on the offensive line for Eldon.
Yeah, so you had the hold. You had the hit against the defenseless receiver against Hallsville. Penalties offset. So 4th and 8 once again for the Mustangs. And really lucky for Eldon that there was that hit against the defenseless receiver and nobody got hurt because it's going to give them an opportunity to try 4th down once again.
Indeed, sir, yes. If any good can come out of it, yeah.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that they're cracking down on, trying to eliminate. That was vicious. The guy lowered his head right into the face mask area. Luckily for the Mustangs, nobody hurt. Brant now out of the shotgun. Steps back. Tries to set up a screen, and nice play by Cooper Crane. He ran through a slew of Eldon blockers and just waylays Isaiah Parsons, who's able to haul it in, but for no gain. In Hallsville, another big stop. They have it 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line with 1:33 left in the half.
Cooper Crane reading that screen all the way, coming up clutch with the tackle.
Yeah, and you heard the Hallsville sideline. They deciphered early it was a screen. They were hollering onto the field, screen, screen, but I don't think that it mattered. Cooper Crane was Johnny on the spot, made the play, in Hallsville has it 1st and 10. Parnell out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, going to give it to Crane, who steps into the ground. He's got some room, tries to get outside now, cuts back across, shakes a tackle inside the 40, down the sideline, and he's going to step out just shy of the 30-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 32-yard line.
No
That's
flags.
Good for 35 yards and a 1st down for Hallsville, and what a big play for the Indians.
Yeah, and like I said, no flags in the play, most importantly, and secondly, that kid can turn the Jets on when he got around the corner, even on this wet field.
Indeed, big-time run, 35 yards. Hallsville knocking on the door. 0-0 your score. 1:22 left in the opening half of play here on Lake TV for the Week 3 game of the week. Parnell for the Indians out of the gun. High snap, he gets it to his man. That's Mason Husky, and he's going to be thrown down for a loss. In the backfield, blowing that one up for the Mustangs is Logan Hall, and that is a big-time loss. 5 yards, going to bring up 2nd down and 15 as Mason Husky. That one spelled disaster from the early going, and timeout called by our officials as Cooper Crane, our spotlight player of the game for Hallsville, shaken up, and he's been all over the field. We'll keep an eye on that, and that could be bad for Hallsville if he's not able to shake this one off and get back in there. So the clock now continues to wind. 2nd down and long for Hallsville. Checking into the game for the Indians, that's number 9, Connor Graybill, the senior. He's going to spell Cooper Crane. He's going to line up in the slot at wide receiver. Parnell with 2 on the play clock. He's going to have to burn that last time out. So with 40 seconds left in the opening half of play, it's all tied at 0. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Pics.
And we're back, Dave.
Yes, sir.
And I hope you brought your floaty and your rubber ducky because we are getting drowned out here in the booth. Water everywhere. Good thing for me, I've got on my high tops.
Honestly, I don't think they're high enough for what kind of water we've been getting here tonight.
Yeah, you're right, partner. So 2nd down and 13. Ball at the 36-yard line. 39.4 seconds remaining here in the first half. But Hallsville, they've got a score in mind. The give goes to Mason Husky, and he is taken down. First guy there for the Mustangs, that's Holt Bayshore, the sophomore.
And again, defensive battle.
Yeah, now we've
It's
only
been
got
here in the first half.
20 seconds left now. 3rd and 12. Parnell out of the gun. Maybe the last play of the half. They may take a shot here. Yep. Parnell, good protection. Rolls out, throws it out of bounds. And we've got a late hit. There's going to be a flag on this one. Oh, no, they're going to call him for intentional grounding. Yeah, but at the high school level, Ross, it doesn't matter. Any intentional throwaway, you see the flag for intentional grounding. There's no tackle box. There's no outside the pocket, and there's no getting it back to the line of scrimmage. If you throw the football away, it's an automatic intentional grounding, but it matters none. That's going to conclude the first half of play. We're all dead, not at 0-0. Folks, we'll be back in a moment with your halftime show presented by Quick Car. We'll recap the first half, get you updated on scores around the area, that and much more when we come back on Lake TV after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Carolla Picks. It's time for the Quick Car Halftime Show. Here's William and Dave.
Welcome back to tonight's halftime show presented by Quick Car, or I guess not welcome back, but welcome. And we kind of thought tonight's Eldon-Hallsville game might be a low-scoring affair. You touched on it, and can't get much lower scoring than 0-0 at the half.
Defensive battle. That's what it is. It's really a straight-up defensive battle. And like I said, during the first half, could be the first score wins this game.
And you might be onto something because at 0-0, we've seen some very, very wet conditions so far. And we've seen 4 turnovers already. Eldon, 2 fumble recoveries and an interception. And you've also seen a fumble coughed up by the Mustangs recovered by Hallsville. But you've seen the Mustangs stopped on 4th down twice so far. So you've also got 2 turnover on downs. And the stats in the first half, partner, well, they don't look really, really good for either team. One bright stat for Hallsville, Cooper Crane, 12 carries, 86 yards so far. And for the Mustangs, their best thing's probably been Dawson Brandt's 46-yard punt. That was impressive. But even more impressive, you had Eric Reed for Hallsville with a 66-yard punt, and both punts ended up backing up the other team and preventing them from scoring. So probably the 2 most exciting plays of the first half outside of the turnovers would be a punt from both sides.
Yes, very true. And field position is a huge part of football, especially this type of football we're playing tonight, which is different. You know, these conditions definitely dictate a different game plan than normal.
Yeah, Dawson Brandt, he was our spotlight player of the game coming in. Now, he's made his presence felt on the defensive side of the ball. He has a forced fumble, and he has an interception, his 3rd of the season already. But rushing the football, 7 carries for only 3 yards. Of course, the conditions, a lot to do with that, but you can't say enough about Hallsville's defense through the early going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their defensive line is played spectacular all night. They've always been up in the backfield, and it's not like last year. Last year we watched Eldon play. Their offensive line practically dominated every team that they played, even the team that they got beat to in the championship. So really this is a different defense than they're used to playing tonight.
Yeah, and of course, can't say enough about the conditions already. All the turnovers, the rain continues to come down here at Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri. What do you play?
I love the rain. Even in playing Pee Wee football, whenever it rained and you could go out there and slip and slide, when you get tackled, it doesn't hurt as bad, especially when you're on grass. It's always had a lot of fun playing in the rain.
Yeah, I don't know if I enjoy playing in the rain. I'm very, very thankful that we've got this covered booth here, of course, at Victor Field. This is your halftime show brought to you by Quick Car. We're going to take a short commercial break. Still about 6 minutes to go during our halftime before we get the second half underway. But don't go anywhere. More coming on tonight's Quick Car halftime show after this.
It's quick. It's easy. It's professional. Every time. There's no feeling in the world like a clean car. Quick Car's Unlimited Wash Club features unlimited washes for $22 a month. Plus, with every full-service oil change at Quick Car Lube and Tune, you'll get an interior clean for only $7. The Quick Car Unlimited Wash Club. Quick, easy, and professional. Every time. Now with expanded hours in Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
If you can dream it, we can build it. Ozark Homes. Family owned and operated for more than 30 years, Ozark Homes has provided beautiful modular homes to the residents of mid-Missouri. Don't just settle for what's out there. Get exactly what you want. We take your ideas with the features you've always wanted to create your dream home. Call us today for a tour of these great-looking homes. Visit us online at ozarkhomes.com to view some of the beautiful homes we've already got waiting for you.
And remember, if you can dream it, we can build it.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks. It's time for the Quick Car Halftime Show. Here's William and Dave.
Welcome back to our Quick Car Halftime Show. Dave Glendenning, William Holtz, thanks for tuning in to tonight's Game of the Week on Lake TV. Now, we do have a score update as we look at the Tri-County Conference standings, which were really blown wide open last night as Versailles took care of Southern Boone. Both of those teams 2-1, and Osage, they're 1-1 on the season playing against California, and they're up 13-0 over the Pintos at halftime there. So Osage in control of that one. Of course, we talked about Versailles beating Southern Boone last night, and it's going to set up for a good matchup regardless of what takes place the rest of tonight, because we've got the Eldon Mustangs at Southern Boone next week in our first trip ever to Ashland. We're looking forward to making the trip and bringing you guys football again next week. You Mustang fans will be happy about that. But first, they're in a battle here, 0-0, and this is anyone's ball game.
Yeah, it's anyone's ball game, that's for sure. It could be, a turnover, run back for a touchdown. It just could be a fluke play. I really don't know. But this game has really been played in the trenches, and it's going to continue to in the second half. And really, I think it's going to be the team that can make that one big explosive play and get the ball in the end zone.
And you talk about one big explosive play, and there were a couple of plays in the first half that were so close to being big for both teams. They were long pass plays where you had a wide receiver open, but both quarterbacks enabled to hit their guy in stride, and therefore we're at 0-0, and that sets up for an exciting second half. And partner, you look out there, kind of looks like the rain subsided here a little bit, but knowing our luck, I'm sure as soon as we kick off here in the second half, the rain's probably going to start back up. And something to touch on, you mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, how Eldon, the only school here in our area that has a real field, well, they're not set up with a drain system like most turf fields have. And so you're seeing some puddles built up on both sides, and you're starting to see some dirt come through as these conditions have caused this field to get pretty rough. And we're going to see the footing continue to be tricky. However, if they can keep the ball dry, you may not see as many coughed up fumbles in the second half.
Yeah, I did notice the referees were making a concerted effort to keep the ball dry. They had towels out there starting out in the second quarter, so maybe at halftime they'll get a new batch of dry pigskin for these guys to play with.
So for those of you watching this, the Week 3 Game of the Week on Lake TV, thanks for tuning in. Whether you're watching on our Facebook stream, you might be watching on Como Connect Channel 90, or maybe even Charter Spectrum Channel 197. And we touched on a football season in full swing now as the NFL set to kick off with Week 1. Did you get a chance to watch the game last night?
Yes, indeed. I sure did watch it.
Were you happy with the outcome?
I was happy with my fantasy player, Tevin Coleman, who you said wasn't going to make any points last night, and he had a touchdown.
I don't remember saying that.
Why did you waste a draft pick on Tevin Coleman for the Falcons, Dave?
Well, that might have been what I said, but I don't think it came out just like that. Regardless, it was a good start to the NFL season, but a lot like we saw in tonight's game, there were a lot of flags.
That for sure last night, and trouble getting the ball in the end zone and the red zone. Matt Ryan and the Falcons, they just were awful.
And isn't it almost like a flashback to last season, the way the season opened, 4th and goal, and, the Eagles able to stop the Falcons from scoring as Julio Jones last year and able to haul it in as he was out of bounds. Last night he did make the catch, but he was out of bounds. And so the game ending in similar fashion back-to-back years. And the defending Super Bowl champs off to an impressive 1-0 start, because you look at the NFC and the Falcons, they're going to prove to make some noise.
Yeah, they are. They're a great team. It's kind of hard to go against the defending champions in their building, and when they raise the banner, and not to mention, hey, the Eagles are a great team, and you can't discount them this year like a lot of people have, even though Carson Wentz isn't playing right now, but he will towards the end of the season.
Yeah, well, he'll be playing by week 2. Mark my words. He'll be ready to go for next week? Which I'm excited
Mark
about.
my words, he will not be playing.
All right, so you guys got to remember, Dave Glendenning said that Carson Wentz won't be playing towards the end of the season. Well, for the first time in the history of a Lake TV broadcast.
I said next week, he will not play.
Anyway, I guess that's going to conclude tonight's halftime show presented by Quick Car right here on Lake TV. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back with the second half of action, and it promises to be a good one as Eldon and Hallsville squared at 0, basically a fresh game.
Ball game.
We'll be right back with the second half on Lake TV after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.
And welcome back, folks, as we are set to start our second half of play, and we are scoreless here in Eldon, Missouri, where the undefeated Mustangs, all they want so far from the Hallsville Indians, and David 0-0, like you said, we're just waiting for the first team to score. That could prove to be the winning score.
Could be. But I do notice the rain has let up just a smidge. Just a smidge. And I do notice the Eldon cheerleaders are freezing now. Poor things.
Braden Stinger set to kick off for Hallsville, his first kick tonight. Lefty, he kicks that one, and it's fielded at about the 32. Nice catch, and falling to the ground with the football, Xander Strickland, the junior, with a heads-up play in Eldon. They'll have our first offensive possession of the second half tonight. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 37.
One of the coaches huddled up in halftime and came up with some sort of game plan here in the first drive of the second half. Because obviously what they did in the first half didn't work.
Out of the shotgun now. Brent with the little play action, little stutter step, and he's going to fall forward for a couple yards before being taken down. So a new look for the Mustangs here to start the second half. Pipes with the stop for Hallsville. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8 now.
And again, Eldon's coming out with just one wide receiver.
Brandt back under center now, 2nd and 8. Takes the snap, going to give it to Logan Hall, and he's going to fall forward, and he's going to be taken down after a gain of about 3. So little doing here for the Mustangs. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, not much room to run on this Hallsville Indian defense.
So 3rd and 5 now, 10:45 left in the 3rd. Brandt takes the snap, little play action. He's going to keep it. He's got 1st down yardage and then some. Across midfield, tripped up and taken down at about the 39-yard line. He's got 25 yards and a Mustang 1st down, and that's the biggest play in recent memory for the Mustang offense.
It's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, Parker Dunham with a little dance there for the Mustangs. Little frustration able to be let go of as Eldon just couldn't get anything going, but after the 25-yard run on the legs of Dawson Brandt, the Mustangs in business, and exchange problems once again for Eldon. Brandt able to fall on it, limit the damage. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 after a no-gainer. Big shout out to our crew here. And Eldon, weathering the storm, Tough bunch of guys. Of course, Ricky Smith not able to be on the sideline. Probably not because of the weather. Maybe because he was a little scared. After we saw the camera lady last year go flying on the Eldon sideline, Ricky got scared and said he didn't want to be down there. Can I please be in the booth with you guys? And I said, sure, it's raining. It'll look like we did it by design.
That's right.
For those of you that know Ricky Smith, I'm sure you can relate. You know exactly what we're talking about. Well, the nice thing is about having Brennan and Ricky in the booth with us, we can keep an eye on them both.
That's right. They're definitely not snoozing tonight on the job.
So 3rd and 6 now. Brant under center. The quick give to the up man, and that's going to be Parsons, who is stopped for no gain. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5 or 6 for the Mustangs. And after the long run by Brant, Eldon's drives comes to a halt as they're facing a 4th and 6 now. Also, Andrew and Bill now, they're nice and protected down in the van. That diesel engine just running. But nice shout out to Andrew and Big Bill Conson. Oh, by the way, Bill, I still have your flashlight from last week's festivities. Why do you have a flashlight, Bill? All right, Brant on the play action. Throws it up for grabs, and that's going to be intercepted. That's going to do just like a good punt, as that's intercepted at the 11-yard line. The man there for Hallsville, it's number 8, Andrew Huddleston, the junior. And that's the first interception of the season thrown by senior Dawson Brant. But I'll tell you what, the interception's great for Hallsville, but that's just like a good punt for Eldon.
Mm-hmm. I just noticed Cooper Crane's back out there.
Yeah, good to see their star back out on the field as he was shaken up earlier in the game. So 1st and 10, ball officially spotted at the 12 for Hallsville. Parnell out of the gun. Takes the snap. The give is to Crane. The ball's on the turf, and it's recovered by the Mustangs.
Big turnover.
That's the big turnover deep in your own end that Hallsville wanted to avoid. And
got the ball on the 3-yard line, it appears well.
I'm not sure who recovered the fumble for the Mustangs. We don't have anyone down on the sideline, but whoever it was set them up in prime position to get our first score of the game. The Mustangs have it 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. 8:13 left here in the 3rd quarter.
And last season, Will, I have to tell you, they were pretty much automatic in this situation.
You're right. Dawson Brant under center. Parsons and Hall. Brant going to keep it himself, and he is going to be stymied at the line. He gets a couple of yards, but stopped at about the 1. So 2nd and 1 now for Eldon. Inside the 1-yard line, 7:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Brant under center. And the ball's on the turf.
And a hanky.
I think Eldon recovered, but no. Coming up with the fumble recovery, the Hallsville Indians say they've got it. We've got no indication from our officials. There is a flag on the field. And Eldon somehow comes up with the fumble recovery, but there is a flag on the field. It's going to be an illegal shift on the Mustangs. So that's going to bring up 2nd and goal from about the 6 after the 5 yards are marked off. Boy, Dave, it looked like a couple of Hallsville players believed that they had the fumble recovery. They came running out of the pile celebrating, but to no avail as the officials reward the ball to Eldon. So 2nd and goal from the 6. And I think it goes without saying, this is Eldon's best opportunity to score tonight, and they really need to walk away with points here.
They can't afford to walk away from this without points.
Yeah, you're right. Dawson Brant now has the play call from the sideline. under center. He's got Logan Hall and Isaiah Parsons split behind him. It's going to be a play action on a bootleg outside. Brandt tries to turn the corner, tries to stay on his feet, going to be pushed out at about the 3-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd down and goal now. Nice job to seal and contain the edge by Hallsville, as Brandt just couldn't quite get the edge.
Yeah, Brandt was trying to tiptoe his way into the end zone. Just ran out of real estate.
So 3rd and goal from the 3. The Mustang faithful, what's left of them, on their feet making some noise. Brandt now, the give to Parsons, still on his feet. They're going to mark him down shy. He fell into the end zone, but they're going to say he touched down at about the 2-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and goal. Now Dawson Brandt, he looks a little upset. He felt like Parsons able to keep his feet before he got into the end zone, but the official right on it said his knee hit, so that's going to bring up 4th and goal from the 2. Boy, if Hallsville could find a way to keep Eldon out of the end zone from a 1st and goal situation from the 3, that would have to give him some confidence.
That'd be huge.
Same formation for the Mustangs. Brandt under center. Going to be a naked boot. He cuts back across. The ball's on the turf. It's recovered in the end zone by the Mustangs. Recovering the fumble. It's number 44 for Eldon, their big tight end, Fisher Snelling. Johnny on the spot, and just like that, our first score of the game on a fumble recovery.
How exactly did that go down?
Well, Brandt called his own number, kept the football. It was jarred free as he was trying to extend on the plane. But like I said, the Mustangs had their man, Johnny on the spot. Fisher Snelling puts the Mustangs up 6-0 at the 6:19 mark. And just like that, Dave, we've got our first score of the ball game. Brandt now rolls to his right, throws looking for Hall, in and out of his hands. And we're going to have a late flag as Brandt was pushed to the turf after releasing the football. So probably a personal foul, roughing the passer, and Eldon will probably get another opportunity, and it's just that. Half the distance to the goal from the 2. So Eldon going to get to try their 2-point conversion once again.
All right, let's give this another try.
Brandt under center. And no good. Stopped his Logan Hall. Though it's Parsons with the carry, and he's going to be stuffed. So nice job by Hallsville. We're going to go to commercial. We'll be back on Lake TV after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Carolla Picks.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Manny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get up to 1 gig internet from Como Connect. Enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. It doesn't get any better.
Welcome back, folks. And the Eldon Mustangs break the scoring midway through the 3rd quarter at 6-0. And for those of you just joining us, the rain conditions tonight have caused for 5 turnovers already and only 1 score, and it was on a fumble recovery. It was very nearly our 6th turnover of the game.
Yes. Not only has it caused turnovers on the field, it's caused mass chaos in the press box.
And I wish that we could have footage of our brilliant team
I know.
now putting the noodle up to prevent us from getting any more wet. And that one.
It's going to be a penalty.
I think it's going to be a legal procedure as the kickoff went out of bounds. So Hallsville should get excellent starting field position here. Big shout out to Tisha Reinhardt, who ran and got us some weather gear. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but got us some towels to dry it off up here. And interesting, it's a noodle we cut for the edge. Pretty neat. Our team can do all things. So Parnell from the 35-yard line out of the gun. Takes the snap. The give goes to Crane, and nothing doing. He's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. A slew of Mustangs there. Isaiah Parsons, first man there for the Stangs, going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Second down and 10 now. Parnell out of the gun. Sweep now to the slot receiver. He's got some room. Good blocking. He lowers his head and he lays the boom to a would-be tackler, and that's close to first down yardage on the carry. Number 5, Jarrett Ballard. He's going to be stopped just shy of first down yardage. They actually mark him out about 3 yards shy, so he must have stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, well, you can see here in the second half, field's starting to get a little bit muddy in spots there in the center of the field.
So 3rd and 3, Parnell out of the gun. That ball's on the turf. He falls on it very wisely. He's going to lose 7 yards, going to bring up 4th down and 10. And the conditions continue to prove costly as far as holding on to the football. The ball's been on the ground more than not tonight.
Yeah, and that was right in that mud pile in the center of the field.
I'm thinking after the game about going and doing a mud angel.
I'm thinking about it, really.
You won't. You're not real. I'll do it if you do it.
CGI, I'm just...
Well, you're not real, as Ross would say, because we know you're not about to go put your nice white shirt in the mud. You do it, I'll do it.
You go first.
Back.
All right, here we go.
Eric Reed set to punt, fresh off his 66-yard boot earlier. This one, a much different story. Looked like it might have been touched at the line of scrimmage. Might have hit an Eldon player. So 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line after the punt of 27 yards off the boot of Eric Reed and Eldon. Great starting field position here. They'll take over at their own 43-yard line.
Now, if Eldon can, put together another drive and score here, it's going to be, that much tougher for the Indians to come back in these conditions tonight.
Yeah, scores already hard enough to come by. You certainly don't want to find yourselves down by multiple scores with these conditions. Eldon always tough to come from behind against, even more so when the weather looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
So Eldon in their customary wishbone set. Brandt under center. It's going to be a halfback pass. He's got Dunham. Dunham catches the ball. He's got it inside the 20, all the way down to the 17-yard line. That's good for 40 yards and a big first down. Isaiah Parsons with the throw. Parker Dunham with the reception to the tune of 40 yards, and Eldon in business.
Tell you what, Will, that's really the one big thing that they have been able to do, not necessarily successfully all the time, but get the ball down the field, and we've had receivers open all night.
So 1st and 10 now, ball at the 22-yard line.
We've got Diver Dave down there. You don't know who he is.
There's a misdirection play. Brandt caught no man's land. The ball's on the turf, and it
Again?
looks like Hallsville's got it, and they do.
Wow.
In a big-time situation, that was a miscommunication by Brandt, and his tailback in Trenton Shields comes up. Colby Dirk comes up with the fumble recovery. There is a flag on the play, or is it just a fumble? First and 10, and Hallsville needed a big play, and they did. That's our 6th turnover of the game, the 2nd for the Mustangs. And Hallsville, their backs against the wall, make a big-time play when they needed it, and they've got it first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
That seems about right. About 2 turnovers a quarter so far.
Ball's on the turf again. Crane able to fall on it. That's going to be a loss of 2. Going to bring up 2nd down and 12. Mason Husky has some room to the outside before falling. He's got a big gainer out to the 35, 16 yards and a big Indian first down. They've got it up to the 35, and that was a nice play.
Yeah. If I could see over these cameras, yeah, that was a great play.
Yeah, 16 yards and a first down, and Husky, we talked about it. He came in averaging about 13 touches a game on the ground. They've not given him a lot of opportunities, but he's made them count. First down and 10 now. Hallsville has it at the 35. 3:43 left in the third quarter. Crane with the carry. Makes a couple of guys miss before being taken down by Dawson Brandt. And if Brandt's not able to make that tackle, Crane may still be running. He has 7 yards, going to bring up a 2nd down and 3. And Hallsville now getting a little momentum on back-to-back positive plays.
Well, Crane's been running tough all night long.
Yeah, he's closing in on the century mark. He's got 95 yards at this point in time, and I'm sure he'll go over 100 yards tonight. Parnell gives it to him once again, and he runs into a wall. The Eldon Mustang there first. Number 78, Sam Kopic, he gets the stop. Jacob Krantz also in. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3 now after the 0-yard gain. Wow, actually, momentum kept moving forward. He's up to the 45, and that's going to be good for a first down. That is not where I saw the spot. Nonetheless, another Hallsville first down. They've got it up to the 45-yard line.
Interesting spot, partner.
Yeah, I saw the official in there standing a few yards back, but apparently Crane able to move forward.
Not that time.
This time, and he is swallowed in the backfield. Caden Dillon, the senior, the first guy there for the Mustangs. That goes for a 2-yard loss. Brings up 2nd down and 12. Parnell, a thick build for a quarterback. You see his jersey pretty dirty so far. He's had a handful of plays where he's had to dive on the football, not able to hold on to the snap. 2nd down and 12 now. Misdirection play. Eldon did a nice job staying home, and number 66, Jonathan Schoenfield with the stop. Good for about 3 yards. Going to bring up 3rd and 9. Ball at the 46-yard line. 1:43 left here in the third quarter. Try to keep you guys updated on the Osage, California game. It's Osage out in front, 13-7. As California, they were able to find the end zone. 1:57 left in that game, or in the third quarter of that game. Thanks to Darren Kime for keeping us updated. Parnell on the play action. Floats one out there and floats it just a little too much. As the wind got a hold of it, pushes it out of bounds. That's going to bring up 4th down and 9.
Dangerous pass there. I really just don't think he had a good grip on the ball, to be honest.
No, that one fluttered out of his hand. While we have a minute, big shout out to our sponsors making tonight's broadcast possible. Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, Eldon Family Furniture, the WH Media Group, Chances Are, and the official photographer of high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks. Eric Reed now set to punt. Takes the snap, very nearly blocked, does get it off, takes a Hallsville bounce, and then stops at the 28-yard line, and that's where Eldon takes back over on offense. 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. 1:06 left here in the 3rd quarter. Any games you're specifically looking forward to this weekend in the NFL, Dave?
Ooh, I believe the Giants-Jaguars game should be an interesting one.
Eli Manning in his 137th season.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of that, also the Patriots-Texans.
That should be a good one. Also going to be interested to see what Andrew Luck does in his first NFL action in almost 2 years. Brandt, the give to Parsons. He falls forward after a gain of about 5. Positive yardage there. First guy there for Hallsville, number 34, Emmett Carlos, the junior, with the stop. Now as we're inside a minute left in the 3rd quarter, about 50 seconds left on the clock.
But of course, Will, I'm looking forward to the Chiefs game at the LA Chargers, which is hard for me to say even still after a year.
Will be interesting to see the little draw play. Parsons keeps his feet, cuts back across the play, and has big yardage. He's up to about the 49-yard line. We'll give him 16 yards and a Mustang 1st down.
Tough run by Parsons.
Yeah, good blocking up front from the interior lineman. Parsons showed some patience, got through the first would-be tackler, and he has 16 and another Mustang 1st down. As we wind down here in the 3rd quarter, we'll have one more play as there's about a 2-second difference between the game clock and the play clock.
Ooh, got 2 wide receivers up top.
Look for a play action here. 1st and 10. Brandt rolls out to his right, being chased, and he's going to be taken down from behind. Nice pursuit by number 5, Jarrett Ballard. Takes him down behind the line of scrimmage for a tackle for a loss, and that is going to conclude our 3rd quarter. After 3 period of plays, the Eldon Mustangs clinging to a slim 6-0 lead over Hallsville. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.
We are individualists. We are determined to grow, build, and cultivate the life of our dreams. We like our way of living. Who are we? Number 1 in subcompact tractors, number 1 in compact excavators, and number 1 in diesel engines. We are Kubota.
Welcome back to Lake TV's Game of the Week as we are on the verge of starting our 4th quarter of play in what's been a wet and low-scoring affair here at Victor Field. Mustangs up 6-0 and envisioning a 3-0 start to the season, but Hallsville proving tough, looking to get off the snide, looking to get their first win of the season. A misdirection play and absolutely hammered on the play is number 6, Alex Lusher, the freshman. Actually, Logan Hall, the ball carrier, he loses a couple. That's going to back up the Mustangs to a 3rd and 12 here in Hallsville. All 3rd downs big, but this one really big to start this 4th quarter of play. They'd love to give it back to Parnell on the offense because Hallsville getting a little momentum going on offense. They're starting to flow a little bit, but they've got to get it away from the Stanks. 3rd down and 12. 11:20 left in the game. Brandt under center. Gives it to Parsons. He's across midfield before being taken down from behind. Number 55 with the stop, Jacob Richards. The junior, he's a load at 6 foot 280. Makes the stop. Going to bring up 4th down and 6 after the gain of 6.
Yeah, that's a big young man.
And Eldon, they may punt the football here. It's only at the 45-yard line. Hallsville certainly thinks they're going to as they send B.J. Fisher, their punt returner, back. He stands at his own 13-yard line. And Brandt, one of the better punters in the Tri-County Conference, he stands at his own 43-yard line. And Eldon going to burn their first timeout of the second half. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back on Lake TV after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Carolla Picks.
It's quick. It's easy. It's professional. Every time. There's no feeling in the world like a clean car. Quick Car's Unlimited Wash Club features unlimited washes for $22 a month. Plus, with every full-service oil change at Quick Car Lube and Tune, you'll get an interior clean for only $7. The Quick Car Unlimited Wash Club. Quick, easy, and professional. Every time. Now with expanded hours in Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
And we're back. So Eldon, after the timeout, come back out and punt formation, although lined up a little strange. You got Parsons there, the up man. They will punt. Brandt gets it away, and it is a dandy. That is stopped. Oh, just rolls into the end zone. A valiant effort by Trenton Phillips. That's going to go for a touchback, and we do have a flag on the play, illegal procedure, and we'll see if Hallsville wants to have Eldon punt again because that has a net of 25 yards on the punt from Brandt. And yeah, they're going to have him punt again. What do you think of that decision?
Why not? Why not? Gives the playmaker a chance to make a play here.
Okay, so the penalty is actually declined. So 1st and 10, the ball will go back over to Hallsville, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't have him repunt the football.
The play pace seemed kind of lackadaisical tonight.
Yeah, any game like this kind of seems like it drags on a little bit. Not a lot of high energy plays. Of course, the footing been an issue, and handle on the football been a major issue.
Yeah, that's slowing down things.
10:24 left in the game. Eldon clinging to a 6-0 lead. Hallsville 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Nice little misdirection play, and losing his footing in the backfield and going down for about a 5-yard loss. That's Jarrett Ballard, and just not able to get his footing. Like the play call, trying to mix it up a bit, but in these conditions, that is very challenging to get anything going of that variety.
Yeah, after that last possession, Cooper Crane surpassed the 100-yard mark in rushing tonight.
So Crane over the century mark. Of course, he was tonight's Chevy Spotlight Player of the game. Ballard now in motion, settles in the slot. Nice blocking and nice running by Crane. He gets past the first slew of Mustangs, but bottled up after a gain of about 2. That'll bring up 3rd down and 13 as we have 9:30 now left in the game, and Hallsville not able to get much going in the early going on this possession.
Yeah, you would think at some point here they're going to have to start speeding it up a little bit on offense, because time will become an issue here pretty soon.
So 3rd and long, Parnell out of the gun, takes the snap, looks towards his right side. Plenty of time, good protection. Now goes to throw, and that just wobbles in the air, falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 13 and a sure punt situation for Hallsville. And we saw Eric Reed from this end earlier boot a 66-yard punt. I'm sure Coach Ty Harrison loved to see another one of that variety.
Yeah, Parnell just seemed kind of dumbfounded on the pass that he'd just thrown there.
Reed now gets it off. Good punt once again. Fair catch called for and very nearly muffed, although Hall able to corral it at about the 49-yard line. So a 34-yard punt, and you'll take that in these conditions.
Yes, sir. And again, I think at this point in the game, if the Mustangs can just put some more points on the board, it's going to be really, really tough for the Indians in Hallsville to come back in this one tonight.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Chad Holt and the Mustangs, your main concern here is no turnovers, giving Hallsville great field position. As long as you can get a couple first downs on this series and maybe burn 3 to 4 minutes off the clock, Hallsville hasn't shown they've poised a real threat to score. So 6-0 could be your ending score if Eldon does things right down the stretch. Oh, ball's on the turf just like that. And Hallsville, I believe, has it, and they do. What a play. We talked about no crazy turnovers, and with the recovery, it's big number 34 making a play. It's Emmett Carlos. We've called his name all night long. You saw Brent never had it cleanly, played hot potato with it a little bit, and Johnny on the spot, Emmett Carlos, gives Hallsville outstanding field position. They've got it 1st and 10 inside Mustang territory at the 49-yard line. Parnell out of the gun, split backfield to his left and right. High snap, able to give it to Mason Husky, trying to get outside. He does. Good carry, and he is nailed, but keeps his feet. He's got about 9, maybe 10 on the far sideline, but good first play on this series for Hallsville.
Yeah, it was a great play. I couldn't believe he didn't get knocked down on his feet.
Yeah, he did a nice job staying up, and whenever Mustang defender lowered his head, he may have took the brunt of that one. Love the way Husky finished that one, lowering his head and welcoming the contact.
And Hallsville has to take advantage of this turnover.
Our 7th of the game, the 3rd by Eldon. Parnell, now that one's on the turf. He very wisely falls on it. Back to the 45-yard line. That's going to go for a 6-yard loss. Bring up 3rd and 7. But anytime it hits the turf, you just want to fall on it. Parnell very wisely has instructions from his coaching staff and no reason to try to pick it up, because you always see a lot of crazy things happen when they try to pick it up on the run.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is their butt will be on the bench if that happens. I'm just saying, I've heard from a friend.
It's crazy how often you see that in the NFL. You know, instead of just falling on it, these defenders always have that end zone on the forefront of their thinking, and more than not, they fail to grab the recovery. 3rd and 6 now. Parnell out of the gun, takes the snap. Misdirection to Cooper Crane, who busts through the line of scrimmage, makes a couple guys miss, and still carrying Mustang defenders all the way down to the 30-yard line. An impressive run to the tune of 15 yards and a Hallsville first down.
Boy, and Crane carried about half the Mustang defense for about 5 yards into that run.
Yeah, once he got through that first slew of Mustang defenders, it was all the driving force of Crane moving forward, and now Hallsville has it at the 30-yard line, 7:30 on the clock. It would be big here if they can score, if they're able to get an extra point. Not sure what their kicking situation is like. Husky with the carry, taken down from behind for a modest gain, maybe one. Going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, first things first, they've got to get through this Mustang defense, which they have yet to do this evening.
Yeah, we talked about Eldon not wanting to turn it over on their own end of the field. Just like that they do in Hallsville. They've got score on the brain. 2nd down, and actually 11 after a negative play the previous play. So 2nd and 11. Parnell now the give. Crane,
Uh-oh.
he coughs it up, able to fall on it down at about the 20-yard line, close to a first down. Crane, nice running, and very nearly forgot the most important part, the football.
Yeah, you kind of need that.
Dave, I can't tell you how sharp you look. It's nice to see you in a tie taking your job seriously.
Well, unfortunately, I'm making you look bad now that I'm starting to dress up, so I apologize.
So it's going to be a first down at the 20-yard line. And, Dave, I hate to break it to you, but it doesn't take much to make me look bad.
Next week, silk suit, bell bottoms.
So first down and 10 now, ball at the 20-yard line. Parnell out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Has his man, Crane.
Oh!
The volley was surely going to score, and he forgot the football, and Eldon falls on it at the 8-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Cooper Crane just kicking himself, being consoled by a teammate, but wow. What a misfortune if you're the Hallsville Indians. A sure touchdown. Crane had a cakewalk into the end zone, coughs it up, and Eldon takes advantage of that one, and they get their 5th takeaway of the game. That's the 8th turnover tonight, and Eldon's 5th takeaway. And boy, that was a crazy series of events.
That's putting it lightly. I mean, the whole game basically just pivoted right there on that one play.
I mean, there was no doubt about it. Crane was going to score, and just like the previous play, forgot the football. Last play, fortunate enough that it bounced right back up in the breadbasket and it recovered. Well, this time, not so fortunate.
No. Luck is not always on your side.
So Hallsville, oh so close to tying the game, but Lady Luck with the Mustangs tonight as Cooper Crane, the most sure-handed player on Hallsville's entire roster, coughs it up in a big situation. Hopefully the young man gets an opportunity to make up for that later in the game. So Eldon backed up inside their 8-yard line. If you're Hallsville, you're thinking great field position if they can give the ball back to their offense. If you're Eldon, you've got the clock on the brain. Here's Parsons. Cuts back across the field before being taken down by Cooper Crane. He's got about 3 yards, does Parsons. Going to bring up 2nd down and 7. Might be playing with a little bit of a vengeance after that last turnover won Cooper Crane in on the stop. And, you know, Dave, anytime you make an error like that, you definitely want to try to make up for it. And if Hallsville gets the ball back, I certainly think that Cooper Crane is going to be running with a vengeance.
I would definitely give him the ball, no doubt about it. Give him a chance to redeem himself.
2nd down and 7 now. Give to the up man, Mason Husky. The first guy there is Logan Hall. Takes it up the middle. Actually, Parsons, the ball carrier. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3. And this one's really big. Eldon's backed up at their own 14-yard line with the wind in their face. And if Hallsville can find a way to stop him from converting, they're surely going to get outstanding field position. So 3rd and 4. 5:05 left in the 4th quarter. 6-0 Eldon out in front. Dawson Brandt under center. Little play action, and he's going to be buried in the backfield. Big-time play by Colby Dirk, the junior, in the backfield. Big-time stop, and Hallsville needed that one in the worst way, and that's going to give a punt opportunity for the Mustangs, one they didn't want to see with 4:30 left in the game.
Boy, Colby read that play all the way and finished it off by a great tackle.
Yeah, Colby Dirk, everything he needed to do to keep his Hallsville Indians within striking distance. They should get excellent field position, and we'll see if B.J. Fisher can't give Hallsville a bit of a return. Uh-oh, this is a play blown dead, and Brandt's going to be taken down inside the 5-yard line, and Hallsville 1st and goal, and oh baby, is game-changing play after game-changing play, and now Hallsville, they've got a chance to tie the game.
Eldon Mustangs are just serving it up on a silver platter. All they have to do, the Hallsville Indians, is just take it.
And I'm not sure what Brandt was thinking. I know there was some pressure in his face, and he was unable to get it off. But Hallsville, they were where they needed to be, and they're right there. Actually, they've got it at the 7-yard line, and Parnell out of the shotgun. 4:12 left in the game. Parnell takes the snap. He gives it to Cooper Crane. Inside the 5, down to about the 3 or 4 yard line.
Wow.
I would go right back to that if I'm Coach Ty Harrison.
What a game. Indians taking their time.
No reason not to. Now 2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line. Parnell right back to Crane, and he runs into a wall. Mustang defense standing tall. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal as we're inside 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, you could hear that hit all the way up here in the press box.
If you're Hallsville, I'm thinking a misdirection, maybe a fake toss sweep. Roll your quarterback out and give him a pass run option. I mean, you got to mix it up because Eldon continues to stack the box, and they are very sure-handed when it comes to tackling.
I definitely like the rollout pass run option.
Out of the shotgun now, Parnell. Takes the snap, nice handle. He's going to keep it, but he's taken down in the backfield. Big-time quarterback sack on the play. This time it's Brady Hill, the sophomore, making a big-time play for his team. Going to bring up 4th and goal from the 9, and obviously, partner, a goal-to-go situation. The offense will stay out on the field in Hallsville. They're going to call their first timeout of the half. With 2:41 left in the game, it's Eldon clinging to a 6-0 lead. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.
If you can dream it, we can build it. Ozark Homes. Family owned and operated for more than 30 years, Ozark Homes has provided beautiful modular homes to the residents of mid-Missouri. Don't just settle for what's out there. Get exactly what you want. We take your ideas with the features you've always wanted to create your dream home. Call us today for a tour of these great-looking homes. Visit us online at ozarkhomes.com to view some of the beautiful homes we've already got waiting for you.
And remember, if you can dream it, we can build it.
And we're back, 4th and goal from the 9. Game on the line. Parnell gives it to Mason Husky, tries to find some room, cuts back across, and he is nailed short of the goal to gain. It's going to be Eldon football as they go back to the sweep to the outside, and Mason Husky unable to get past the Mustangs. Logan Hall with the tackle officially, and Eldon gets the football back after turning it over inside their own 10-yard line. The Hallsville Indians unable to capitalize, and the Mustangs have it back with 2:33 left in the game.
And really, I think at this point, Hallsville can't really blame anyone except themselves. They've had every opportunity to put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, Eldon coughed it up in their own end twice now here in the second half, and both times the Mustang defense stands tall. Brandt, the give to Parsons. He is going to run into a wall. So Hallsville defense continues to stand tall. And we'll see how Coach Ty Harrison uses his last 2 timeouts. And Hallsville going to go ahead and burn their first of 2 timeouts. We're going to stay right here, Dave. Of course, this one coming down to the wire, but live high school football on Lake TV wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors. I'd like to thank Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, Eldon Family Furniture, the WH Media Group, Chances Are, and you can't forget the official photographer of high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks. So I like what Coach Ty Harrison's doing here. Go ahead and burn your timeouts. Keep as much time on the clock. But it goes without saying, if Eldon's able to convert a first down, That's going to be very close to the end of the game.
Assuming they can hold on to the ball. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, good point. With all the exchange problems, even if they're able.
Game is far from over.
In Eldon, they've not got much going offensively here in the last quarter and a half. Hallsville defense been very impressive, and they're looking to give their offense one last opportunity. 2nd down and 9. Ball's at the 9-yard line. Brandt the give. Logan Hall trying to get outside, and he's going to be tripped up. There's a flag down in the vicinity of holding. That's a 6-yard gain, but could be coming back, and I think it will be. That'll go half the distance to the goal. It's going to bring up 2nd down and long for the Mustangs, and Coach Ty Harrison and his coaching staff love that because Eldon backs themselves up, and Hallsville, they've got one last opportunity on the brain, and boy, wouldn't it be something if Cooper Crane had an opportunity to tie this ball game in the waning minute.
That would be storybook.
You know we here at Lake TV.
Love TV?
You know us here at Love TV.
Love TV.
Absolutely like a storybook ending. I'm a little tongue-tied. I'm so excited to be calling live high school football on Lake TV for our 6th season. I got ahead of myself.
I think we just have a new name, Will.
And Hallsville going to have to burn their last time out with 2:22 left in the 4th quarter. It's going to be 2nd down and 13 when we return for the Mustangs. You're watching exclusive coverage of high school football on Lake TV.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Carolla Picks.
And we're back here on Lake TV. Big shout out to the Lake TV crew tonight for toughing the elements. We'll talk about them here in a moment, but first, big time 2nd down and 13 for the Mustangs. 2:22 left in the game. The Mustangs clinging to a 6-0 lead. They've got the football deep in their own end. It's Dawson Brandt under center. And he gets Hallsville to jump. That hard count.
One of his signature hard counts.
Yeah, and a nice job by Brandt understanding the situation. Dawson Brandt, you've been here before, shows his experience with the hard count. He's going to gain his Mustangs just a little bit of breathing room as they were backed up inside their own 5. Now they're going to move it up to the 9, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Not what you wanted to see of your coach, Ty Harrison. You had the Mustangs backed up against a wall, and then you give them 5 free yards.
3 wide receiver look here. And that would be on the offense.
I think so, but it could be. And boy, interesting because Hallsville looked to jump, but what must have happened by the D lineman, he must not across the line of scrimmage, and so the Eldon guy jumped up afterwards. It's going to be false start, and the 5 yards given right back. So both teams feeling rather generous tonight. 8 total turnovers and probably about 1.4 million penalties. .222 left in the game. Dawson Brandt under center for the Mustangs. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to keep it. He's got some room. He's across the 10 up to the 15-yard line. And he's got some good yardage. We're going to give him 11. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2 or 3 with about 2 minutes left in the game. And this next 3rd down and short has a lot hanging in the balance.
And that last tackle was made by Mason Husky for Hallsville.
Potentially a game-saving tackle. 3rd down and 2. And if you're Hallsville, have to find a way to come up with this stop. Brandt, the give to Parsons. He's got the 1st down. He's falls forward. He's got 5 yards and a Mustang 1st down with 1:35 left. And barring a fumble, the Eldon Mustangs on their way to a 3-0 start under first-year head coach Chad Holt. Now, assuming that there's no turnovers, not pretty, but a win's a win.
True. And it wasn't a cakewalk by any stretch.
No, 0-2 the Hallsville Indians, but they didn't look like an 0-2 team. A tough early schedule. Hallsville next week, they're going to play host to the Osage Indians, who are up right now over California. Dawson Brandt takes the knee very wisely, and a couple snaps away from the Mustangs improving to 3-0. Folks, concluding this one, don't go anywhere. We've got our post-game show presented by Above and Beyond Roofing right here at Victor Field. We'll try to bring you Coach Chad Holt in the booth if we can get him. We'll definitely recap tonight's game, and we'll go over all the local scores as Brandt takes another knee, and we are just one snap away from the Mustangs proving to 3-0. And don't forget, next week, the 3-0 Eldon Mustangs travel to the Southern Boone Eagles. That game will be live on Lake TV. We'll hit the air with our pregame show powered by Como Connect at 6:40. Should be a good one. A lot riding on that one. And Eldon, tough tonight in front of their home crowd. They're going to walk away with the win, 6-0 over the hard-fought Hallsville Indians. To no avail, their effort goes tonight. They fall to 0-3, and the Mustangs 3-0. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment with the post-game show presented by Above and Beyond Roofing.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks. This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Manny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get up to 1 gig internet from Como Connect. Enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. It doesn't get any better.
It's quick, it's easy, it's professional. Every time. There's no feeling in the world like a clean car. Quick Car's Unlimited Wash Club features unlimited washes for $22 a month. Plus, with every full-service oil change at Quick Car Lube and Tune, you'll get an interior clean for only $7. The Quick Car Unlimited Wash Club. Quick, easy, and professional. Every time. Now with expanded hours in Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
We are individualists. We are determined to grow, build, and cultivate the life of our dreams. We like our way of living. Who are we? Number 1 in subcompact tractors, number 1 in compact excavators, and number 1 in diesel engines. We are Kubota.
If you can dream it, we can build it. Ozark Homes. Family owned and operated for more than 30 years, Ozark Homes has provided beautiful modular homes to the residents of mid-Missouri. Don't just settle for what's out there. Get exactly what you want. We take your ideas with the features you've always wanted to create your dream home. Call us today for a tour of these great-looking homes. Visit us online at ozarkhomes.com to view some of the beautiful homes we've already got waiting for you.
And remember, if you can dream it, we can build it.
Chances are Restaurant and Lounge in Lori is a hometown favorite and has been since 1989. With generous portions, favorable pricing, and a familiar staff that treats you like family, going to Chances Are is a no-brainer. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Come in on the weekends for the prime rib and all-you-can-eat shrimp. And on Saturday night, year-round, they feature live music with some of the area's hottest bands. And if you stay out too late on the weekend and need that late breakfast fix the next morning, come enjoy our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet until noon on Saturdays and 1 on Sundays. Off Highway 5 in Lori, come find out what makes us so special and...
If you're here once,
Chances are you'll be back! This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Pics.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Manny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get up to 1 gig internet from Como Connect. Enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. It doesn't get any better.
It's time for the Above and Beyond Roofing post-game show. Back to William and Dave.
Welcome back, folks. It's your post-game show brought to you by Above and Beyond Roofing. And Dave, it wasn't pretty, but the Eldon Mustangs, they find a way to overcome some late turnovers, and they walk away 3-0 with a 6-0 victory over Hallsville.
Turnovers, definitely the key word tonight. And again, like we discussed earlier, a win is a win, and especially a conference win. It's huge.
There were 15 total fumbles in tonight's game, 8 total turnovers. Eldon, 5 takeaways. Hallsville came up with 3 and 4 fourth down stops. It was a game that could have went either way, down to the wire, and it seemed like Eldon wanted to give Hallsville every opportunity. And the biggest play of the game, in my guesstimation, was the Cooper Crane fumble. He had a sure walk to the house, was going to tie the ball game. And we saw in the previous play, a nice run, lots of room, and he just forgot the most important aspect, the football.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to have a hard, long bus ride back to Hallsville tonight thinking about that play.
And hopefully the young man who's one of the best running backs in the conference is able to shake that off. He had a great game tonight. Good numbers for him. As a matter of fact, the young man finished with over 150 yards. He had 26 carries for 151 yards, but I bet you're right. He's going to be thinking about that fumble for quite some time.
Yeah, that's probably the only play he's going to think about all night tonight. All those other yards and everything don't really matter at this point.
So 6-0, your final this year post-game show brought to you by Above and Beyond Roofing. Now, I want to give a big shout-out to our crew because the conditions were treacherous. It rained all night. It's super muddy. We weren't even able to have a camera down on the sideline or up top. We ran everything from our booth, so I want to give a shout-out to the entire crew, start to finish. Of course, Andrew Evans in the truck, our head of production switching. Also, Bill Conson, our extra hands. Our head of production, Ricky Smith, was awesome tonight. Of course, Brennan Thompson running camera as well. And then you had our lead production assistant and program director, Ross Reinhardt, was all over. And, of course, Dave, you, Brennan, everyone had themselves a nice game. And don't forget about our extra hands. Jonah Diebert, you've got lots of
jazz hands. We got jazz hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands, but also Zach and Adrian Reinhardt helping us out tonight. And it ended up being a great broadcast. We were glad to bring it to you. And, down the stretch, I really thought that Eldon may end up losing this one with that late turnover, but it wasn't just the ability to get the takeaways. The defense for the Mustangs, when they got close to the end zone, that being Hallsville, Eldon defense got even stronger if that was possible.
Yeah, they did. They stopped them about 2-3 times within scoring position. And that really was the key of the game, and, of course, the turnovers. But like I said in the pregame, I said, first team that scores, that could be all it takes to win the game. And sure enough, that's all it took to win tonight for the Eldon Mustangs.
Absolutely. Your only score of the game coming on the legs of Isaiah Parsons, his 5th touchdown run of the year. He had a big-time season a year ago, and he starts off this season right where he left off a year ago. The Mustangs under first-year coach Chad Holt, top of the Tri-County Conference, all by themselves at 3-0. Osage, we got in a final from that game against the Pintos. Osage, they prevail, 13-7, so they're 2-1. You also have Southern Boone 2-1, and the Versailles Tigers off the upset of the Eagles last night. They're 2-1, so the Tri-County Conference standings very jumbled up there at the top. Of course, next week we'll have this Eldon Mustang team 3-0. They're going to travel to Ashland. We'll have that one. We'll kick off with the pregame show powered by Como Connect at 6:40. We're going to take a short commercial break, but to wrap up our postgame show, don't go anywhere. We're going to have Eldon head coach on the set right here, Chad Holt. That and much more on the postgame show brought to you by Above and Beyond Roofing after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Pics.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Manny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get up to 1 gig internet from Como Connect. Enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. It doesn't get any better.
It's quick. It's easy. It's professional. Every time. There's no feeling in the world like a clean car. Quick Car's Unlimited Wash Club features unlimited washes for $22 a month. Plus, with every full-service oil change at Quick Car Lube and Tune, you'll get an interior clean for only $7. The Quick Car Unlimited Wash Club. Quick, easy, and professional. Every time. Now with expanded hours in Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
We are individualists. We are determined to grow, build, and cultivate the life of our dreams. We like our way of living. Who are we? Number 1 in subcompact tractors, number 1 in compact excavators, and number 1 in diesel engines. We are Kubota.
It's time for the Above and Beyond Roofing post-game show. Back to William and Dave.
Welcome back to our post-game show brought to you by Above and Beyond Roofing. Now joined by Eldon head coach Chad Holt. And Coach, congratulations on the big W.
Thank you. It was a big W for us, but it's a hard-fought W. There's no doubt about that.
Nothing pretty about it, but they don't show results on scorecards, just final score, and you guys ended up victorious. I'll tell you what, you guys played very, very well defensively. Touch on that.
Yeah, our defense played outstanding. That's what kept us in the game. That's what our one score came off of, and they forced a lot of turnovers. Those guys played great tonight.
So first-year head coach, down there on the sideline, go to punt the ball, and Dawson just not able to get the punt off, and you give it back to him inside your own 10-yard line. What's going through your head?
Well, that's kind of panic mode situation there. We work on that punt a lot, and it wasn't the best read on his part, but that happens sometimes with high school kids, and heart was really pumping because the punts, that's my special team. So, that puts a little bit more pressure on me even more. So, but our kids responded, and they did that all night on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely able to take it away 5 times. And I'll tell you what, there was a couple of punts where Dawson did a great job. He had a 46-yard punt earlier in the game that really changed field position. And special teams played into tonight's game more than probably any other.
Oh, absolutely. They had a big punt in the first half there that was probably 60 yards or so with the roll and everything. And once you got somebody backed up, it was hard to get out of this tonight.
Big thing, though, you guys get the W. You moved to 3-0 on the season, and you guys got a tough matchup next week against Southern Boone.
Yeah, Southern Boone's always going to be a quality opponent. We got a chance to watch them a little bit last night, but each week here in the Tri-County, it doesn't get much easier. So
absolutely. No easy games down the rest of the way. 3-0, is this the way you guys envisioned you'd start?
Well, we always envisioned that way, but our motto is the old cliche, 1 week at a time. We always talk about going 1-0, and so far our guys have been able to do that 3 weeks in a row.
That's Eldon head coach Chad Holt here on the postgame show brought to you by Above and Beyond Roofing. Coach, congratulations. I know you'll celebrate this one tonight and get right back at it early in the morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Yep.
We'll be right back on the postgame show after this.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.
So we're back here on Lake TV as we wrap up our post-game show brought to you by Above and Beyond Roofing. Guys, thanks for tuning in for high school football on Lake TV. The Eldon Mustangs, it wasn't pretty as we said, but they get the W on a night that saw a lot of rain pour, a lot of turnovers, 8 to be exact, but the Mustangs did just enough to walk away 3-0 on the season. And like we said, they sit atop the Tri-County Conference all alone at 3-0, and they'll be right back on Lake TV next week as we travel to Ashland for the Southern Boone Eagles at 2-1 as they play host to these 3-0 Mustangs. For Lake TV and our entire crew, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, God bless and good night.
This week's Game of the Week on Lake TV is brought to you by Como Connect, Quick Car, Above and Beyond Roofing, Chevy's Bar and Grill and Pizzeria, Eldon Family Furniture, Crown Power and Equipment, Ozark Homes, the WH Media Group, Chances Are Restaurant, and the official photographer of live high school football on Lake TV, Corolla Picks.